Hello, everyone. Welcome to JCI Live. It's great to be here with you today. And we're so sorry that it's about 30 minutes later than we had originally planned, but thank you so much for sticking with us if you are still watching. And a big warm welcome to our Secretary General, Kevin Hinn, who has taken some time out of his very busy schedule to join us today. Welcome, Kevin.
Yes, thank you, Anne, and thank you for getting up so early this morning. I know it's very early in St. Louis. Um, Hello to everybody enjoying your lunch, preparing your dinner, or enjoying your breakfast. Greetings from Monaco. I'm delighted to be here, and thank you for tuning in to listen to what I have to say about this exciting World Congress. And let's not forget, this is an interactive session. I'm not here to monologue. I want to answer your questions as well, so don't hesitate to put them in the chat. Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you so much, SG. I think it would be great if we could just get started by maybe talking a little bit about the format of this Congress. I know it's different than it has been before, and we've gotten some questions from our members, so it would be great. That would be a great place to start.
Yeah, as you know, this year's been a bit special, to put it mildly. We've had a few incidents due to a coronavirus, and lots of events, notably the four area conferences, have had to be brought online. And sadly, in July, we had to do the same. We decided to do the same thing with the World Congress, moving most of the global program online and having to adapt to the new normal. However, at JCI, what we do is we don't wilt in the face of adversity. We transform challenges into opportunities to be successful. And we're not novices at it anymore, since we've got the great track record from the four area conferences and the great work the area teams have done to make successful events to engage members over the summer in America, in Europe, in Africa and Middle East, and in Asia Pacific. So we have good benchmarks to base ourselves on now to move forward. And the first thing we decided to change when we moved over to this online World Congress was to change the format as well. Normally, a World Congress takes place over 5 days, very intense, morning to evening. And of course, given the time zones and the fact that everybody's working from home, JCI members are spread, I believe, over 18 time zones across the world, from Hawaii to New Zealand, if I'm not mistaken. I think even in Tahiti, it's even later, it's even earlier than Hawaii. So we've got to find a way to adapt to all the time zones. So we decided to stretch it out in bite-sized morsels over just over 2 weeks. One of the big criticisms we've had in the past is that chief delegates, national presidents, and board of directors members have not been able to spend time with the members on the ground, the first timers, because everybody's so busy in official business. So the first thing we did was split the official business into week one, so 24th of October to the 2nd of November. Get all the elections out of the way, all the procedural stuff, all the budgets, all the stuff that keeps our organization going, and remove all our uncertainty and stress for the candidates. And then have a second week, week two, which is the standard dates for the Congress from the 3rd of November until the 7th of November, which will be centered around the fun parts, essentially personal development and networking, but done in a different manner, which I'm going to be talking to you about. So one of the main words of this new Congress format is versatility and flexibility, being able to adapt to the new circumstances and adapt to what you, the members on the ground, want and deserve from a World Congress, so we can support you from JCI headquarters and from JCI worldwide.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm really excited about this new format as well. And I was hoping you could talk about the difference between the core program and the Rise VIP program. And I have a graphic that will help explain that, but it would be awesome to hear from you.
Yeah. Well, basically, the core program, which only costs $20, is really for the strict minimum. Is if you can only attend like one day or one session or something like that because you've got really important other things to do. I'm not even going to talk about the core program. I'm just going to focus on the VIP Rise program because this will truly give you the added value of a JCI event. For $100, you'll be able to access obviously the official business, the opening ceremony, the awards ceremony, closing parties, but we're going to give you so much added value, especially in terms of a full Congress experience, all the trainings, new concepts, for example, TOYP TED Talks. You're not going to be sitting just in an auditorium watching videos of the TOYP's winners, but you'll be able to interact with them directly thanks to the latest technology. We'll, of course, have a morning shows done in a different format, of course, where you'll be able to, it will be called Rise and Shine with JCI. And of course, you'll have business speed networking. And we're going to do everything possible to make you think that you are in Japan as well. And there'll be all sorts of partner programs, which I'm going to be talking about afterwards. But basically, you can expect all that you would get from a normal Congress program, but much more for 1/5 of the price. Normally, a World Congress fees would be $500 at the regular early bird rate, and now we're only charging $100, which is nothing compared to the hours of work that have gone in from the COC in Yokohama. From the JCI World Headquarters staff have been working 14 to 16 hours a day for the last 2 months to come up with an incredibly solid program, which is worth way more than $100. So you'll be able to get anything you'd get from a normal program, but much richer and with a quality versus quantity approach, and especially working on partners as well. So I'll cover that afterwards.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting to talk about the added value you're getting this year, the opportunity to network with people from really every country because there's no physical barrier, but it is the cheapest Congress ever. So I think a lot of people will finally get the opportunity to join. So that's great as well. And I'll make sure I'm sharing in the comments of this video the Congress landing page because that's such a great resource to all of these schedule points that the Secretary General has been mentioned. Yeah, so just to kind of move it along, I was wondering if maybe you could give people a final selling point on why they should choose the Rise VIP track and not just the core track.
Yeah, thank you. Well, you said it, Anne. It is the cheapest World Congress ever, but only in terms of price, not in terms of quality. What we want to give you is a premium VIP experience, the likes of which you have never experienced before. One where you will really, each member will be able to get something out of it. And one of the key unique selling points we're planning to push is in terms of our partners and the engagement with them. Up until now, it's all been about partners, hosted 1 or 2 sessions and going on stage and basically promoting their own projects, but without any interaction or added value to our members. What we've decided to do this year is put partners at the heart of our program, therefore co-curating different programs every day. So if we look at the VIP program, beginning on the 3rd of November, we'll have different themes to each day. The day of the opening ceremony will be a preview for the rest of it. So it will all be centered around the JCI Rise initiative, which, as you know, is the global initiative which was set up by President Itai Maniere in July to act as JCI's reaction to the pandemic, rebuild, invest, sustain, and evolve. So the first day will be a trailer of the 4 following days. It will be entitled Rise with JCI. The following days will be done in collaboration with our partners, as I mentioned. The day 1, which will be on the 4th of November, will be titled Rebuild with the International Chamber of Commerce. So we're going to have keynote speeches from the Secretary General of the International Chamber of Commerce, Mr. John Denton, all about the economy post-COVID and how young people can actually rebuild it. Then we'll be moving into practicalities. There'll be an amazing design thinking workshop on finding sustainable solutions to rebuild economies after post-COVID, and notably our SMEs and small businesses, which are the heart and souls of the communities, which we are promoting via the RISE initiative as well, and which we encourage you all to promote thanks to the projects which can come out of this design thinking workshop. We will also support gender equality, SDG 5, and female entrepreneurship, thanks to a great panel session with a staff of the ICC on female leadership as well. Now, the second day will all be about you building your networks, as Anne mentioned earlier. Invest with our new partner, BNI, Business Network International. So we're going to begin learning about work-life balance with a keynote speech by none other than the founder of BNI, Dr. Ivan Meissner, followed by going into the detail of things, practical business networking amongst members in English, French, and Spanish, where you'll be able to engage with JCI members from all around the world and look for to promote your businesses and ideas. Not just looking for customers and suppliers, but also maybe looking for finding a business partner or a mentor or an investor amongst the 150,000 plus JCI network in 110 countries. Day 3 will be in partnership with ISEC, all about motivating the workforce, sustain with ISEC. And we're going to be having a keynote speech from ISEC Global President, Alexandra Robinson, followed by various panel sessions and podcasts on working with Generation Z. Let's not forget that ISEC are the prime incubator for JCI worldwide. So when we talk about growing our organization with like-minded young people and enterprising young leaders, this is a great way for ISEC partnerships and also all the other partnerships to trickle down to your local and national organizations as well. And on the last day, the 7th of November, the Saturday, this will be in partnership with the World Business Angels Investment Forum, chaired by none other than JCI Ambassador Baybars Altuntaş in Istanbul, Turkey, where we'll be talking about financial inclusion, about digital inclusion, and also female leadership. So we're looking at great keynote sessions and keynote speakers and panels with JCI members and with World Business Angels Forum leaders, notably with the head of the Female Women Leaders Organization and Women in Tech, for example. So we're hoping to get these wonderful speakers on board. So don't hesitate and watch this space for the official announcement. But this is how we want to engage partnerships. I know that JCI in Africa and the Middle East have asked me a lot about partnerships and how our global partners can work with members on the ground. This is our answer. It's not just about having toolkits or anything or doing a podcast about it. We're going to give you concrete solutions. Just join these sessions, ask them questions, get their contact details so that, for example, members in Ghana can engage with ICC Ghana, with BNI Ghana, with ISEC in Ghana and the World Business Angels Forum in Ghana, and in all 110 countries. This is how we want to give added value to our members, thanks to partnerships in this VIP RISE program. But as I mentioned earlier, there are also trainings, there are also networks, engagements, parties. Partnerships are only the tip of the iceberg, which we can highlight in this program. And as I said, $100 US, no flights, no luggage, no visas, no queues at embassies, no having to worry about luggage allowance. This is what we can offer. No jet lag, even. So don't hesitate, essentially. That's a unique selling point, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, usually when you're traveling to Congress, you're expecting to get the cultural experience, provided by the national nights, and the next year's Congress organizing committee. And you're still going to get that experience this year, but without all of the hassle. And I will say I've gotten a lot of videos already from JCI members all over the world, and it's so exciting to be able to share this really unique experience, I think, this year of being able to bring all of the JCI members from all over the world together in one space. So I'm really looking forward to sharing that content with everyone. Um, to keep things moving along, I think it would be great now if you could talk a little bit about not only the skills development sessions, but where people can find more information about the Congress in general. I know we've gotten a lot of training requests, and I'm really excited to talk more about that. But where's the best resource for people who are looking for information on this Congress?
Okay, so there's only one place to look, which is on the JCI website, juniorchamber.international. So we have a landing page where you can have the full programs for week 1, and soon you'll have the whole timeline for week 2 as well. We're just finalizing some of the skills development sessions right now, but this is where you can go to sign up and look. So you can also access this on this link, but also on the new JCI website, which is aligned with our new vision and our new graphic design, developing leaders for a changing world. So it's juniorchamber.international. And this is where you can find all the information. You've got an FAQ, which gives you all the information. For example, if you have signed up for the call program for $20, but you just realized that you made a big mistake and you're only going to get the GA and some stuff, and you're not going to get any of the trainings or any of the partnership engagement I've been talking about. That's understandable. Everybody makes mistakes. But you can just find exactly how to upgrade it and pay the extra $80 and sign up to the VIP program as well, so that you don't have to just pay an extra $100. You can just pay the difference. So there's the whole process on the FAQ as well. And as I said, don't hesitate. Like with the core program, you're only going to get the minimum. With the VIP program, you're going to get the full Congress experience, which will really, really make you understand what JCI is all about as a global organization. It also gives you information on how to do group registrations. All the national presidents are going to get an email from me later on today as well regarding group registrations too. But don't forget that national organizations, you can just pay in bulk and register as well. We've got several national organizations who've already signed up with 100 to 300 members already. And thank you to those national organizations. So I got some very good news this morning about it. So yeah, we really hope to get more to coordinate things. And this is where you can find all the information. Of course, you can also find information on JCI's Instagram and Facebook pages too, and also by asking me if you really need to. I've been traveling around the world, so has by Zoom, sorry, and President Itai has been Zooming around the world as well, as have many of the vice presidents, to promote this wonderful World Congress as an opportunity. This is a game changer for members who don't know JCI and who can't necessarily travel all the way to Japan and take 2 weeks off work and spend $3,000 to get to Japan and pay their visas and pay for a hotel and all that sort of thing, to be able to get the JCI global experience for free as well. And don't forget and also not necessarily having to be awake live for everything as well. I'll talk about that afterwards too. Amazing opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually had our first question come in. It was about when you were talking about group registrations. So Christine was wondering if there was any discount for bulk registration. So I'm assuming that means, hey, if 300 people in a national organization are registering, do they get a discount? And I will let you handle this question.
Yes, I know we all want discounts and all that, but we're really, really delivering a project right now 100 US dollars is strict minimum. As if you ask your national presidents about the situation of JCI's finances this year with the COVID-19 crisis, it's not great, and we're actually subsidizing all the costs of this event already. So sadly, we cannot give any discounts above the 100 US dollar amount, and we do think it's a fair price. As I mentioned, our team have been working 14 to 16-hour days for the last 3 months since the decision was taken to launch this. We're planning to deliver added value, which is way, way, way more than 100 US dollars. So I think that this price is extremely, extremely reasonable already, and that JCI members should be able to afford this. So thank you.
Yes, well, Christine says she knows that it's cheap, and she says kudos. She was just wondering. Thank you, Christine, for asking. It's a very good question. Another very good question that I'll let you answer really quick is, will the Senate bar be open? Or maybe if the Senate bar won't be open, what can people do to recreate that experience in their own home?
This is something which we're still discussing with a global Senate right now. Of course, there will be something done by senators around the world, and our team, like notably Senate Mandrell Sawyer, and with all the Senate presidents, is working on it. So we hope to have something to announce very soon about it. But as I mentioned before, we're trying to recreate as many experiences as possible. Like, there will be a digital global village, there will be national parties as well. I know that JCI Germany is lining up something great to promote the European Conference cruise next year as well. And we want to create an amazing vibe right now. And this is all down to you as well, if you want to create a spontaneous, off-the-cuff street party, you can do. The sky's the limit in the virtual context. So don't hesitate, and we're working beyond time zones here in the virtual digital age.
Yeah, and that's actually such a good idea. If you're living in a country where, you're no longer under lockdown, this is such a fun opportunity to get together with members from your local organization and watch the opening ceremony together, and it's just a good excuse to see those people. And I just wanted to thank Naomi Chan. She commented, there's indeed added value with access to quality partnerships. And I just want to stress that again. The partnership content at this Congress, I would argue, is stronger than it's ever been before. Our partnerships manager, Diana, along with SG Kevin, have really been putting together some amazing content, from podcasts to panels. I think there's even going to be a giveaway involved with one of those keynotes, so you definitely want to make sure you're stopping by. Another question for you, SG, is about the content of this Congress. Will it be recorded, and will people who register for the RISE VIP program be able to continue watching it over time, or is it just a one and done kind of event?
Certainly not. It's certainly not something where we're not expecting you to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning in some parts of the world to attend a training and otherwise not see it again. Each session will be recorded and be available for replay during the Congress and even probably afterwards as well. So if you do miss a keynote session because it's during the day your time and you've got an urgent business meeting, you will be able to watch it again afterwards. It will be available on replay. We're going to be streaming it on our own on a new platform, so behind the paywall. So you'll be able to watch it. You just register with your login and password once you've created your account, and then you'll be able to rewatch all the sessions again afterwards too. So this is a very important thing to note. We are conscious that there are different time zones. As I mentioned, we're spread over 18 time zones, or maybe 20 time zones worldwide. So not everybody can be awake 24 hours a day. But unlike a physical Congress, if you do miss a session, you'll be able to see it again. So don't worry about it. And this is really a unique selling point too. I know that in this difficult year, many of you cannot afford or cannot have the time to take a full week off work like you would have done to go to Yokohama. And we have planned around this. So if there's a session during your daytime, for example, you'll be able to tune in the evening as well and watch it again. And this is really, really important. It's what I mentioned earlier about the flexibility and versatility that an online session, that an online Congress can deliver, as opposed to a physical one as well. So I hope that made my answer was very clear. Yes, you will be able to replay it in the future too, as long as you sign up to the VIP program. Of course, if you only sign up to the core program, you won't have access to any replays. It's only for people who sign up to the $100 VIP program, because that's the added value, the extra $80 US will bring you, those of you who support JCI in this initiative. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Kevin. And I'm gonna share that link one more time. If you still have questions about what's offered in the core versus the Rise VIP program, all of that information can be found on our website. And in addition to recording those sessions, I think it's important also to note we did get a question via Instagram about, hey, is this Congress happening in person this year? And Kevin, I thought that maybe you could settle that once and for all right now and just kind of explain how we're working with the COC and how people will get to experience those sessions as well.
Yeah, thank you for raising this important point. Yes, you might have seen that this Congress has been marketed as a hybrid event. So there are certain events taking place in Japan, in the city of Yokohama, with some keynote speakers as well, which are taking place. But this is only keynote speakers who are based in Japan right now, who will be live streaming from there as well. So with a VIP program, you'll have access to all those keynote speakers as well. There'll be the CEO of SoftBank, the CEO of Fujifilm. There'll even be a really famous French economist called Jacques Attali, who used to be the economic advisor of President Mitterrand in the 1980s and has been advising recent presidents as well, who'll be talking about the economy post-COVID. So that will be a great complement to the keynote speech by Secretary General Denton of the International Chamber of Commerce too. So these will all be available online as part of the Yokohama keynote speeches when you sign up to the VIP program as well. Now, let me make it clear though, the General Assembly will be taking place online. All the official business will be taking place online because we cannot travel to Japan right now. Nobody from outside of Japan can enter Japan without being quarantined 2 weeks entering the country and 2 weeks leaving the country. And I don't think anybody is prepared to do that. I will be assisting President Itai from Monaco. President Itai will be in Zimbabwe chairing the World Congress. The whole executive committee and all the national presidents will be in their countries. So there will be no real Congress experience for foreign delegates. And that was confirmed yesterday. If you look at the post on Facebook by the Yokohama COC, they clearly mentioned that everything is subject to quarantine regulations in Japan. So even if in countries where you can normally travel to Japan, like if you're coming from Europe without a visa, right now you still need a visa to get in, and you need to apply for one, and you need very special reasons to be able to be allowed into Japan. And sadly, the World Congress is not one of them. So, and we actually are organizing this online event because we care for your safety and for the health of all our staff, of all our speakers, all our members, and all of our board of directors and senators as well. This is our number one concern. So we're not pushing a physical event unless it's 100% safe And right now, the Yokohama COC don't find it safe for any foreign delegates to enter the country either, as they mentioned yesterday. So if you're a foreign delegate, I would recommend you just stay put at home, enjoy the VIP Congress, save a lot of money, save a lot of stress, save your lungs as well, avoid getting sick, and just enjoy the VIP Congress for $100 and from the comfort of your own homes without any jet lag or visas. So I hope that answers your question as well. Stay home, stay safe. That's my essential message.
Yes, thank you. I mean, it's great that we get to watch those keynotes from, like you said, the CEO of SoftBank and Fujifilm. And I'm really excited about an unconscious bias keynote that the JCI Yokohama team has put together. I think that there's going to be some really, really engaging sessions. So although, you know, we can't physically be in Yokohama, we can still benefit from the amazing program that that team has been working on and has worked so hard to produce the last couple of years. Another question for you, SG, we had in the chat, and this is about training. So what about skills development? Is there an extra cost, or how can people participate in that? Would they be paying the $20 fee or the $100 fee for that?
Yeah, thank you for that question. Skills development is still an important component, and skills development is included only in the VIP program. So if you want to take part in any trainings, you'll need to pay the $100 for the VIP program. If you pay the $20 for the core program, you'll get access to no trainings. Why is that? It's simple, because we want to level up our training sessions. We want to give our trainings value, and our trainers are high quality individuals. They're very talented, and we want to make sure that their work is not taken for granted. Like, hours and hours go into these training courses, and we don't want anybody to, we don't want 150 people to sign up and for only 15 people to actually bother showing up at the training sessions. It completely demotivates trainers and it devalues their work, because anything which is free is considered worthless, and we don't want that. Our JCI members are incredibly talented, and it's not because they're volunteers that they are worthless. It's in fact that they are priceless. So this is why we want to make sure that the training sessions are behind a paywall. And as you can see, there are a lot less trainings than there are normally. That's also because we want to focus on quality versus quantity. Our skills development team, the committee, and skills development manager Comfort, whose hard work I truly salute and recognize and I'm most grateful for, have done an amazing job in selecting the best trainers to be able to take part in it. See the World Congress as the top level benchmark for trainers to be attending. And that's why there are only a couple of sessions every day in several languages. It's because we only wanted the best at this training. So I think it justifies paying $100 to attend the best quality trainings as well. And this is the future of skills development right now. We don't want to be lowest common denominator. We want to have the best trainers and the best quality content and the best quality sessions as well, so that members can come out of these sessions having developed their skills with practical business or personal development experience. Each member must come out of a session feeling fulfilled, having learned something, having engaged with new people, having discovered new topics, having made new friends. This is all about added value, which we're delivering now. And this is the future of JCI skills development, especially moving forward in 2021, where we're focusing on global leadership courses and masterclasses centered around the 4 areas of opportunity to create the new JCI global leader for the future. But that's the subject of another topic. If you want to learn more, come and watch my presentation during the VIP program. But I hope that answers your question about skills development and why you'll be required to pay $100 for it, because it's going to be super high quality and be worth way more than $100. It's all about return on investment we're delivering right now. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, SG. So I hope that answers the question. You'll just need to register for the RISE VIP program, and then you'll have access to all of the skills development sessions. And we'll be sharing more about the details of those sessions coming up very soon, so you'll know what you're signing up for. Another question we had online, which is related a bit, was talking about public speaking and debate, and asking why people weren't able to support their friends and other JCI members doing public speaking and debate without registering for the VIP program. And I just wanted to quickly say that we'll be hosting the preliminary rounds for everyone. So that'll be open to your friends, your family, even if people aren't JCI members, they'll be able to watch. But for the finals, we do think that let's make it a little bit more elite, and that will be for our Congress registrants who have purchased the RISE VIP program. So that's just a quick little thing on that as well.
Yeah,
and I will
add as well. Normally, if to be able to support your friends and your friends at public speaking and debating, you actually need to be physically present in the World Congress. You'd have to be in Goa or in Tallinn or in Yokohama anyway. So what's the difference? Except we're charging a fifth of the price now, 20%. So it's exactly the same logic, basically. Nothing's changed.
You're so right. Okay, so I'm gonna leave a few moments here at the end for people to continue asking the last minute questions they have before we go. But I just showed on the screen a slide about one of the contests that we're offering this year. I just wanted to say a few words about that. So we are so interested in having JCI members be as involved as they possibly can be in this Congress. And so that's why we're asking you to fill out this form. The link is on your screen, and I will type it in the comments as well. But in this form, you can find ways to ask questions to the candidates for international office. So that's where you'll do that. You can share your feedback about the World Congress with us, and you can also find details about that video contest I talked about. So this is a way for you to share your videos reciting the mission, the vision, the creed, doing a special traditional dance that we could showcase at Global Village, and things like that. So this is just going to be a really fun opportunity for us to bring together all of our members, and we hope that you will take advantage of that. I did see one more question for the SG here. There was a question about financial aid. Is there any possibility for members or organizations to find financial aid for this Congress?
Financial aid in what way? To just sign up for the $20 or $100?
I'm not exactly sure what the question is, but I think the answer is that for this Congress in particular, we're not planning on offering any financial aid, but I think that's something that we've always wanted to do in the future, especially to sponsor participants going to our in-person congresses, but I don't think that's something we're going to be offering this year.
No, precisely. I mean, what we are looking to do in the future is make congresses more accessible and conferences more accessible to members who cannot necessarily travel, by giving them cheaper access, like we're doing now, by giving them more accessible virtual access as well moving forward. So that, for example, out of 13,000, normally if you look at Africa and Middle East or America, areas which have 13 or 14,000 members, only 300 or 400 members actually travel to those events. And we want to give easier access and more democratic access to other countries too. But of course, let me remind you, if you are referring to financial aid for $100, let me remind you that this is $100. So I don't think that this is something which we can conceive on right now. We're already giving a very, very accessible price. Normally it would be $500 and or maybe even more. So I understand that $100 is a lot in some countries, but we do believe that this is an amount that is justified for JCI members. And of course, if national organizations do have a reserves to provide subsidies to certain members, we truly encourage national organizations to do so if they so desire and if there's a demand for it. But unfortunately, JCI will not be able to provide any discounts on those $100 because we're already providing lots of value, I believe, and especially in terms of manpower we're pumping in. It's costing us way more than $100 to produce this event, and I have to look for it as the person in charge of JCI headquarters. I do need to look for it from managing directors and a financial perspective as a business manager too. Thank you.
Thank you, SG, for that answer. I'll go ahead and see if a few more questions are rolling in, but I know that something President Itai Maniere had asked us to do was to recognize those organizations that are really on top of things, that are already registering for the RISE VIP program. We just wanted to give them a little bit of a shout out. You should see that slide on your screen really soon, but SG, I'll let you shout out to those orgs.
Yes, fantastic. Well, thank you to JCI Hong Kong, Bangladesh, France, Malaysia, USA, Belgium, Philippines, Colombia, Germany, and United Kingdom. Thank you for your support, especially, and thanks for joining. We hope to see a lot more, especially the national organizations who are hosting future events, like future area conferences or planning to host future congresses moving forward. We really hope to have you on this leaderboard as well. A big shout out especially to JCI Hong Kong, who I forgot to mention, but we're also creating some very exciting projects with JCI Hong Kong, which will be on the JCI RISE VIP program, notably pushing the business networking side and expanding the JCI Hong Kong SDG Pioneers program, which has been extremely successful in JCI Asia Pacific, to the rest of the world as well. So this is how, hopefully, if you attend this session, you'll be able to find a great new project which you can apply to your local and national organizations. Because don't forget, this Congress is for you as members. You can develop yourselves personally and develop your business networks and your leadership skills individually, but you can also help the community. You can also develop your businesses, but also learn from the international side as well. Tap into our global network to find amazing projects done at JCI Hong Kong or JCI Mongolia or Zimbabwe or Burkina Faso or Paraguay or Bolivia or Colombia, and apply them to your local organizations as well. That's the magic of our global movement. And this is something which you can truly discover at this online congress as well, where we're hoping to give you the same vibe too.
Yes, I'm so glad you mentioned that, because JCI Hong Kong is really adding so much value to this Congress. They're doing some really exciting and unique programming, and I think a lot of our members would be interested in learning some of those best practices from such a successful organization. So yeah, absolutely. And shout out to all those organizations that are registering for the VIP program. President Itai certainly appreciates that. Before we go, Kevin, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know we're running late, but if you could just give one final push, what's something that you're really excited about for this Congress? Why do you think people should register for the RISE VIP program?
I'm super excited because we're thinking totally out of the box. This is totally the mindset we want to instill as enterprising young leaders at JCI. As I mentioned before, we could have just done something really simple, done a General Assembly, followed the protocol, elected our new team for next year, and done some awards, and then ciao, go back to sleep, and hope we go back to hope we go back to a new normal next year and see each other in South Africa, and hope that the coronavirus will suddenly disappear on the 1st of January and it was all 2020 was just a bad dream. But no, we don't live in dreamland. And so we decided to take the bull by the horns, and we worked hard with the Yokohama COC to come up with something that would be as close to a real Congress, in-person Congress, as we possibly can. Something which will mark the history of JCI, something that will show that 2020 is a great pivot. As you know, we're pushing the JCI Rise initiative as a way as JCI's reaction to the pandemic, focusing on the economic crisis and the psychological crisis, and therefore being a game changer in the future of JCI as well, as we anchor JCI's actions in economic reality and highlight our role as a global leadership organization, which can really lead young people, enterprising young leaders, into the future decade and to become leaders in government, business and civil society, and therefore become vectors of positive impact around the world once they have become masters of all 4 areas of opportunity: business, individual, community, and business, individual, community, and international, all in equal measure and without privileging one above the other. So this is the complete JCI leader. And this is the mindset we're working in now, the mindset of the complete JCI leader, where we're creating something totally unique, something special, something which will really add value to members, and with a totally different format, thinking new things outside of the box. So this is what I'm looking forward to, essentially. It's seeing the reaction of members when we unveil our full program and when we launch the actual event. It's actually being able to engage with members on the ground and to give you added value from our partnerships, from our trainings, from the interactions and the networkings which you will have, and to see the feedback. We want to maintain the hunger, and this is the hunger which I've seen in all my various Zoom calls over the last 7 months, beginning with the time when the world went into lockdown in March and April, with all the different sessions we've been doing all around the world. No less than yesterday, I was at the National Convention of JCI Brazil in the virtual city of Concordia, and I was so blindsided by the enthusiasm of JCI Brazil members and the willingness to learn and to engage. And there were 120 people on that Zoom call. It was amazing. So this is the enthusiasm I'm seeing now, and we just want to make this enthusiasm go global, and we want to. The biggest enemy of JCI right now is tunnel vision, focusing only on local chapters and local impact, when we must not forget that we have national organizations, that we are a global organization of 150,000 enterprising young leaders. And with this Congress, this is only the beginning. This is the prototype of a JCI of the future, where we'll be highlighting what JCI will look like in the next 2 or 3 years. It's an organization that brings members together, bridges the gap towards one future, where in 6 months' time, you'll have a new JCI IT platform on your mobile phones, which will help you engage with all the members around the world in 110 countries directly from your phones, as long as you're a JCI member and your country is up to date with their dues. So this is what we want to present right now, and this is a prototype. I'm incredibly excited, and I'm proud of the work that my team at JCI headquarters has undertaken over the last 3 months. I'm proud of the work undertaken by the Yokohama team and the members of JCI Japan, who have been transforming these challenges into opportunities to succeed and to really grow as leaders. But despite all this is only what I really look forward to is next year or sometime in the near future, when we can all meet face to face at a physical JCI event, where we can just talk about this and this being a temporary blip, and where we can really enjoy the heart and soul of JCI, which physical events cannot necessarily replace. Like, I haven't even seen my team at JCI headquarters since January in person, so I can't wait to see everybody as well. And it's the same for everyone else, I believe. So this is a temporary blip, but this is why I'm so excited about this. It's going to be an amazing World Congress, and this VIP program will be a true game changer for JCI members and for JCI as a whole. We will make you feel special, and believe me, the best is yet to come. So please sign up today. Don't wait until 2 days before the Congress begins. I really expect you to sign up today, please, because this is what all the hard work which has gone behind it deserves. Thank you very much, Anne.